What's going on, guys? My name's Preach. If you've never been to this channel before because you're just looking for the Razer headset, I'm a former top-end world raider in World of Warcraft and now moving on to Star Wars The Old Republic, producing guides for every class and spec in the game. That's what we do over at Preach Gaming. We tell you all about everything we can possibly get involved with, okay? If it's down to MMO gaming, we're your people. What today we're doing is we're looking at, by request of some of the subscribers, is the Razer Megalodon. We're also going to do the Razer Naga in another video, so check that out. We're also doing the left-handed Death Adder mouse, so check that out if you're a lefty and you're looking for a decent gaming mouse. We're going to do a review of the Death Adder next week. And we're also doing the Razer Black Widow mechanical keyboard. Okay. First things first, the Razer Megalodon. There she is. That is the beast you are going to buy. It's about 130 British pounds. It's a very, very expensive headset. It is. It's better than the Razer Caracus, I think it's called. That's the next one down. This is the top one that Razer produced, the Razer Megalodon. You've seen this all over the place. A lot of the top gamers use it, and the reason was you might be thinking, I want to pick that up as well, because if the top gamers are using it, I want to use it as well. That's fair. It's not going to improve your gameplay by any means. Picking up a pair of David Beckham's football boots is not going to make you score 70-yard goals. That's not going to happen. But what you are going to do is get a decent quality product. So we're going to talk about it from start to finish. We're going to talk about the good points and the bad points. We're not sponsored by Razer. I can tell you truthfully how I feel about it, and hopefully that'll help you make a decision in the future. Okay, guys? So let's talk about it again. The Razer Megalodon, you've got to pick this bad boy up. It really looks awesome. Razer gets full marks, full 5 out of 5 for definitely picking up some quality packaging. They like to make it an experience similar to Apple. If you've ever bought an Apple product, you'll know that the packaging is also part of the experience, because when you pay a lot of money, you want it to come nice. You don't just want a shit packaging, shit plastic, and then your item inside. You want it to be an experience, and luckily Razer have followed through with that. So you're going to get this lovely packaging, all that detail, green inside. You're going to get this wonderful box, okay? They're really solid. Feel that. It's a bad boy. It's not going to break or anything like that. Your headset is perfectly safe inside. You're going to open this up. You're going to get a little welcome package. What you're going to get then is your headset in a case. Now, this case is really good. If you are taking your headset out and about, you're playing at tournaments or anything like that, or you're going to a lot of LANs, this headset is really going to secure you. This packaging is really going to secure your headset. It's really nice. Your headset's going to be nicely cushioned in there. Loads of rooms for repackability, which I think is important. Every time we unpack something, really, it's always hard to get it back in. Not so with this. You can easily repack it up again, and that is important to me, because I hate it when we get packaging and we can't pack that bad boy up again. It's a pain, and we all know it, ballers, don't we? It's not brofist, but this thing is good. Really solid. Nothing's going to get through that. Your headset is going to be perfectly safe inside. So, moving on to the actual piece of gear. Here it is. This is your Razer Megalodon headset. It's not oversized by any means. It's relatively small. Nice and adjustable. It'll fit any head type. I've got a rather big head. Fits me fine. We tried it on Ghost, who's another part of this channel, and he's got a small head, and it works fine as well. Really, really good. So you're not going to have any trouble, depending on if you've got any difference, you know, and if you're worried about it not fitting, or any other sides of headphones haven't particularly fitted you in the past. This thing's going to be fine. You've got your really, really soft earmuffs. Okay, they are awesome. I've worn this for many, many hours of gaming and had no issues with comfort whatsoever. No pain in the ears at all. Really, really fine. Audio output. Let's talk about sound quality. The sound quality is crisp. It is really good, especially your bass. I was very surprised at how good the bass is through this, okay? The bass is really, really nice. No matter how loud you go, you're not going to have any sort of issues with your sound output whatsoever. It's something to bear in mind is that sometimes when you turn it up really loud, you're going to have some issues with your sound. Not so with this. Bear in mind that anything around you will not be heard, okay? You won't hear anybody talking to you, but on the good side is if you're recording or doing any gaming where you're definitely trying to record your voice, you are not going to get any sound escaping from the headset, okay? It really cushions it well. You can barely hear anything, even at maximum volume. If you sat next to somebody wearing this headset, you're going to have a really, really nice time. Your microphone, adjustable microphone, it will go left and right depending on where you want your wire to go. If you want your wire to go to the right or the left, you can easily adjust the microphone. It spins all the way around so you can have it on either side. The headset will pick up where the microphone is and adjust left and right accordingly, which is important, because I've had some headsets where you could adjust the mic, but if you did so, the left always then moved to the right and would not change back, which is annoying for us as gamers if you're playing FPS games or anything like that. You don't want to hear someone coming from your left when they're actually on your right. That's going to pick it up automatically in the Razer. No problems at all. You're going to get a nice beefy volume control. This thing actually contains all the gubbins and the drivers and all the sort of stuff to run the headset is inside this box. When you do an update we'll talk about shortly, you're going to have to use this box. It's good volume control. It looks really nice and pretty. When it lights up blue, it lights up blue and red. You've got an off button. You've also got the Maelstrom button I want to talk about quickly. Razer bid this is a 7.1 surround sound headset. Now that is not entirely true. It's simulated 7.1 surround sound. The Maelstrom button, which is contained on here, will simulate 7.1 surround sound from basic stereo sound. Now, that does not always work, and by any means, it doesn't really work well when it does, okay? Bear that in mind. It's a bit of a sales pitch. We're okay with that. It does simulate 7.1 surround sound if the audio generated is 7.1 surround sound. That's fine. Turning 2.1 sound into 7.1, very, very poor. It doesn't work. I've literally never turned this button on again. If my audio output is 7.1, it will do it in 7.1. I don't need the Maelstrom button. I've never turned it on since the first time I tried it because there was definite audio issues. I was only getting sound out of one earphone. I was getting sounds very, very quiet. When I turned this off, crisp, beautiful sound again. So bear in mind that the Maelstrom button is a bit of a sales pitch, but it does work when necessary, okay? If you can turn something into 7.1, it'll work fine. Personally, for me, it's something that you'll try, maybe run into the first problem, turn it off, and then probably never use it again. Something to bear in mind. You can control all your microphone levels from here, turn your mic off to mute if you're talking to somebody else while you're live streaming or anything like that. And you can also just control the volume and turn the whole thing off if you want with this middle button. No problems at all. The wiring that comes with it is fine. It's a really solid fibre-covered wiring. You're going to have to use a pair of scissors or a knife to get through this thing. You're not going to scratch it unless you're rubbing this thing constantly against a table leg or anything like that. It's going to take a long time to wear through that bad boy. It's pretty solid. And your USB port, of course, gold. Does it make much difference? Not really, but it's still there. It's gold. It's all solid at the end. It's not going to bend and break or anything like that. It's not a cheap USB input at all. Okay, let's talk about the microphone quickly because we talked about the audio output. I want to talk about your audio input. This is where your first problem is going to lie, guys. This microphone is not the best. Okay, it is not the best microphone out there. In fact, I don't use this microphone. I have it switched up. The reason I do that is my very cheap Logitech mic, desktop microphone, runs me about €4, £2 English. Is actually better quality than this. That's just the sad truth. It is. I'll play an audio clip for you now of what the output of this sounds like. It's not awful by any means, but it's not as good as what I had in a much cheaper product. Here's the audio clip.
This is a sound test of the Razer Megalodon for your viewing pleasure.
There you go. As you can see, increased bass. It's a little bit choppy, I find. I'm looking for, when you're listening to somebody on over voice comms, Ventrilo, Mumble, TeamSpeak, whatever you guys choose to use, it's always important to have good sound quality. I find that is important. When you're talking to people, it should be nice and clear. People with background noise and all that, it gets on your nerves. I don't want any of that. Now, this thing is not going to produce any background noise, as we said, but you will find is that this microphone is not the best, and I, in fact, don't use it. Okay, it's not awful by any means, but it's definitely not the best. For an expensive product, which this is an expensive product for a headset, I would have loved a better microphone, okay? Let's talk about the main bugbear of mine, the big issue that some of you might have, especially in this day and age of 2012. This thing does not play nicely with Windows 7. Bear that in mind, especially Windows 7 Pro, 64-bit. You're going to have issues, okay? Now, this is where Razer really let themselves down, is their support is not ideal. First problem that they come across with Razer is everything is plug and play. They say to you, plug it in, it will work. It will do everything for you. You don't need to do anything. That's the same with all Razer products, even the Razer Naga with its 12 buttons, etc. It's really going to do it all for you. I would like a CD. I would like some sort of CD because I consider it slightly arrogant, a little bit misjudged to just assume everything's going to work right when you don't know what's coming in the future. Okay, that is a big issue of mine. With the Razer Megalodon, it did not play nice with my Windows 7 64-bit at all. It really did not. After doing some browsing on the Razer forum, did not find much information at all. Ended up going to Google to then find out something where I read tons of posts from people who've got this headset and having a lot of trouble with Windows 7. Their solution was a firmware update which was released by Razer in 2009, I believe, late 2009 or early 2010, which actually solved this issue. Then I had to go and find that program. So I went back onto Razer's website, searched for a Megalodon firmware update, found a link. That link was then broken, could you believe? The link was not there on Razer's website. Ended up going to a third-party forum who'd hosted the program himself, got it off him, the headset started to work fine. Before that, my microphone was cutting out all the time. It really was. You have to do a firmware update holding the button down. You have to follow a little guide. I would have liked some sort of support from Razer on that. We tried to call Razer and did not get an answer. We called 3 times, did not get an answer. Just did not get through to anybody who could help us at all. So that's something to bear in mind completely. Is Razer support is a little bit weak at the moment. Hopefully they're going to pick that up because releasing products that are plug and play is all very well and good. But sometimes there are errors. We have errors all the time with PC stuff because everybody's computer configuration is different. So we need to bear in mind that this thing might not work all the time. If you have Windows 7 64-bit, be prepared that you're going to have to do some kind of update. You may get very lucky. You possibly will get lucky with a new headset that's had the firmware updated already. Maybe, I don't know if Razer are doing that and it works fine. If so, thumbs up to you. I'm just telling you the truth about what happened to mine. Mine did not work straight away. I had to use the firmware update, and then it is working. It's working fine. You know, you've heard the audio quality. Output, not the best. Input is amazing. The audio input is amazing. Overall, brilliant product. If you're looking for a decent headset that you're going to be wearing for long periods of play, as us in MMO gaming tend to do, I definitely recommend it. It is a really nice piece of kit. It looks awesome. It's a sort of talking point when people enter your PC area. They're going to see the Razer headset all lit up. They're going to see the volume control lit up. It looks cool. There's no doubt about it. Razer products definitely look cool. We can't argue with that whatsoever. And in terms of quality, overall, good 8 out of 10. Good 8 out of 10. I would like to have a better microphone. I was hoping my microphone was something I could use to record for YouTube. I can't. It's not good enough, unfortunately. But overall, thumbs up. This is Preachy. We're doing the Razer Naga, the Razer Death Adder left-handed, and the Razer mechanical keyboard coming up. So stay tuned for that, guys.